I understand the tenets of strength, and I understand the tenets of discipline. So these are people who are prepared to broadcast to the world that they lack discipline purely because they are so monumentally lazy, or they are so afraid of difficulty that they would rather suffer that than fix the problem. What does that tell you about a potential business collaboration? What does that tell you about an FBI interrogation? What does that tell you about a nightclub combative situation? It tells you that these people are not going to be there when the going gets tough, because everybody knows how to fix it. Strength is an important outward broadcast for every single man. And anybody who is weak has accepted how they are viewed because they are so monumentally lazy that they're not prepared to do what it takes. And they also try and cope for that themselves. And if they are dishonest with themselves, they are going to be permanently dishonest with you. And that is why, once I created my life to look for people around me who valued, coveted, worked towards strength, a lot of the treachery has disappeared. When I was in jail, nobody in my circle betrayed me. Nobody. Which is actually very rare. When a man gets arrested and 50 of his people are dragged into rooms and threatened with jail, someone usually bends and breaks. This happens in the mafia. This happens in the big criminal gangs. The baddest of the bad people, they find a rat. With me, they couldn't find a single rat. Because I have people around me I can trust. Which is also, because it's not just physical strength, we're also talking about mental strength. And I'm going to say something which is highly controversial. I know that's unlike me, but this is very important. If you have somebody in your circle that is struggling with an addiction, as a good friend, perhaps you can try and help them. But if they continue to struggle with this addiction, if their mind is so weak that they are controlled by this substance, whatever it is, will they sell you out for this substance sooner or later? Why are you trying to help this person and have this monumental liability near you? I say depression isn't real because I believe that. I don't believe depression is real because by believing in it, you give it power. If you say depression is a real thing, you can become depressed. Much like a ghost. If you're afraid of ghosts, you're afraid to be in a forest alone at night. If you don't believe in ghosts, you're not afraid to be in the forest because there's nothing to fear. I don't believe in depression. And I've had a more difficult life than all of the people I've ever met who told me they were depressed. Which is once again confirmed to me that depression is not real. And you cannot change my mind because I will not adhere to a mindset which weakens me. So I don't want to listen to people who are sad about how the world works. So depressed people can't convince me that it's real. These are weak people. If I had somebody near me who was depressed, could I trust them? Could I trust them if things got hard? Could I trust them with money? If somebody is so depressed that they refuse to get up and do the right things for their own life, do you think they're going to do the right things for me and my life and our mission? Can you trust somebody who cannot control their own mind? There are people out there which are so mentally weak, they will think of a thought, and that thought will destroy them. They will have a thought that they create in their own mind themselves. It's in their head. And instead of turning it off or fixing it, they will allow it to fester to the point where their body and their life degrades. And they will be defeated by their own thought. Can you trust somebody who is that weak? When somebody near me says they're depressed, they have about a day to snap out of it. Because if there's someone around me who is depressed, I don't trust them anymore. Why would I want friends who aren't excited to stay alive? I mean, you're depressed. You want to jump off a building. Well,
This groundbreaking charger is taking the tech world by storm. It can charge your phone from 0 to 100%.
What good are you in a combat situation? You're ready to die anyway. You've already given up. I don't need those people, and I don't want those people. And by creating your life to only have strong people in it, not only do you remove many attack vectors, because I want to make this clear, on a long enough time frame, weakness will betray you. Every single time I have ever been too gracious to a weak person, I was betrayed. Just like I said, if I drop this phone, I know it will fall. If you are friends with somebody weak, they will betray you. And it doesn't matter what they have a weakness for. If they have a weakness for gambling, they will steal your money. If they have a weakness for women, they'll try and sleep with your ex. If they have a weakness because they're depressed, they're going to externally blame you and blame the entire world for their own lifestyle choices. If they have a physical weakness, then you cannot rely on them in a police interrogation or a combat situation. The easiest way to identify if somebody is going to betray you or not is simply based on, are they strong or weak? And this can also be extrapolated to intention. This can also be extrapolated out to intention. So let's ask ourselves something important. Let's do a thought experiment. Let's pretend you had two friends. One was big and strong. One was small and weak. And both of them decided, for whatever reason, to betray or subvert you. The big strong man would be obvious about his intention and use his strength and power, because that's one of his moves. Inside of his poker deck, he has the, I'm big and strong, this is what I'm going to do, get over it. The weak man doesn't have that. So the weak man can only resort to treachery, to sneaky behavior, to hidden shadow intentions. Big, strong men can be honest because big, strong men are unafraid. So if I had a friend and I didn't want to be their friend anymore, I could sit and say, I don't want to be your friend anymore. Why? Because you're depressed and I don't trust you. Well, are you betraying me? You're not helping me with my depression? No, I am not. Please leave my house. I'll say it straight to your face. A weak person won't do that. A weak person will hide, lie, make up excuses. What is worse? If I told you that a tiger was going to attack you, would you rather see the tiger coming, even if it's big and strong, or for it to jump on your neck from behind as you go for a nice stroll out of the bushes? In which scenario do you stand a better chance, irregardless of the strength of the tiger? The thing that hurts you most is the thing you don't see coming. It's the same in boxing. It's not the hardest punch that knocks you out. It's the punch you don't see. Always has been, always will. So weak people can never be honest because they don't have the capabilities to face the consequences of their own actions or the consequences of your reprisals. The only thing they can do is be sneaky. And when you only have one move on the chessboard, guess which move you're going to make. If you have a poker hand and you only have threes in the deck, you're going to play the threes. That's all you've got. Weak people only have sneaky subversion. That's all they've got. So they'll talk to your ex behind your back. They'll steal a little bit here. And when you confront them, they'll lie because they're afraid of you and your power. No, it wasn't like that. No. That's why you have to stay away from weak people. Even if they do the wrong thing by you, they don't do it in a transparent way. They do it in the most devious of ways. And once again, life is risk reward. As a professional, and I try and explain this to people all of the time, you have to make decisions for risk reward. If there is a 10% reward for said action and a 5% risk, then it's worth it. If there is a 4% reward and a 5% risk, it is not worth it. So risk reward. A weak friend is giving you what? Entertainment. Well, the world's pretty entertaining now. You have YouTube and Netflix and me on Rumble. You have Twitter. You have work to do inside of the real world. You should be very busy. You shouldn't need entertainment. So the reward is quite low, but the risk is monumental. Because if these people decide to betray you, you'll be monumentally surprised by how far a weak man will go for a little bit of money or a little bit of pussy. You'll be extremely surprised. Let me give you a scenario. You have a girlfriend. You have a weak friend who also has a girlfriend. And that weak friend, of course, because he's weak, is controlled by his girlfriend. Do you think he won't betray you because his girlfriend wants him to? What if his girlfriend is pressuring him to find out what you're doing behind your girlfriend's back? And she says, I will leave you if you don't tell me what he's up to. Can this weak person handle heartbreak? You see it all the time on the internet. You see men, full-grown men, crying their eyes out over a bitch, crying their eyes out over a woman, bawling like children. You think he's prepared to lose the woman that stops him from slitting his own wrists because he's a weakling to protect you? Let's imagine you're in business with this guy and his girlfriend and him start arguing. And she's his world because she's his world. You know those wife cuts. My world, my best friend. She's everything to him. And you need a very important thing done for the company. You need a report by Friday afternoon. And his girlfriend is bored. I'm bored. All you do is work. Take me out somewhere. I'm tired of this. All you do is work. Do you think he's going to choose work and your company or choose her? She isn't paying your bills. And if the company fails, she will leave him. But he will still pick her over your joint venture because he is weak, making him a bad business partner. When I see a man who's scared of his wife, or is discussing problems he has with his wife, or is complaining about issues from a girl, I start to become very worried about how much I can trust that man. Like, I'm not saying don't be in love. I'm in love right now. But if she fucks with me, bye. Because I'm a full-grown man. I'm not afraid.